1.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am here today to introduce myself to you, and hopefully after this you'll understand a little bit about who I am. Okay, so let's start with the basics. My name is Courtney Crowder. I'm a 19-year-old girl, and I've recently been overtaken by wanderlust. I will explain to you how that has become about later on. And for those who don't know, wanderlust is the desire to travel. So my address says I live in Poseyville, but I really don't live in Poseyville. I live in St. Wendell. So I'm going to be a sophomore at Purdue, and I'm studying special and elementary education. And I never really thought when I was growing up that I would actually be a teacher. I never actually thought about being a teacher until my senior year. So I kind of took a chance when I was a senior and applied to Purdue for elementary education. And it ended up working out. And when I got to Purdue, I found out how many opportunities Purdue has for study abroad. And I knew as I was going into Purdue, I eventually wanted to take a study abroad program. And it turns out the best chance for me to do this was after my freshman year. So a week after I got done with my freshman year at Purdue, I took a plane all the way down to Honduras with 18 other college girls to start my May semester study abroad adventure. All these girls on the trip were in some type of elementary education. So we all stayed on a college campus in Zamorano for 2 weeks, traveling to a private public school called Allison Bigsby. We were told that we were supposed to do whatever the teachers told us, whether it be make a lesson, teach a lesson, or do little odds and ends of organizing. So that's what we did for 2 weeks. But little did I know that I was actually going to learn more from the students, more than I could ever teach them. So Allison Bigsby was a small private school, like I told you, like 130 people. And I was shadowing a first grade teacher called Mrs. Caitlin. I was shocked when I first saw her because she was actually from the United States. I expected a native from Honduras to actually be my teacher. So I asked her how she ended up in Honduras. She said, she just kind of shrugged and she's like, it wasn't planned, it just happened. And now she's really happy where she is. So everything was completely culture shock to me when I was down there, from the food to the way the Hondurans lived. But I was not really expecting culture shock in the educational system. It made me really question where I wanted to be when I graduated from Purdue. I mean, I was going to have this special and elementary education degree, but that doesn't necessarily mean I had to stay in Southern Indiana. I always thought that I would just graduate from Purdue and move straight back home. But now, I never really considered teaching abroad. But now since I've met Ms. Caitlin and seen how other schools function, it's actually really appealed to me lately. So by the end of my study abroad trip, my whole attitude changed about where I want to be when I graduated. I have no doubt that I want to be an elementary teacher, but now I just have to figure out where I want to be. So planning is not exactly what I want to do. I kind of want to just randomly see where I end up, kind of like Miss Caitlin. But whether that be on the West Coast, the East Coast, somewhere foreign, I don't know. But like I said, I've recently been taken over by wanderlust.
Charlotte Crowd.
This is always awkward.
They're going to hear you say that.